Hello everyone, welcome to Ebenezer Insights, and if you're watching this video right now, I would like to start by saying congratulations. So a very big congratulations to you for making it to the semi-finals. And of course, if you're watching this video, it's either you've been selected for the interview or that you are hoping to get selected, and keep your hopes high. Remember the timeline. If you've not gotten selected, if you've not gotten your invitation for an interview, remember the timeline is between December to January. So keep your hopes alive. And again, if you've gotten the email and you have your interview dates fixed already, I want to say a big congratulations to you. So thank you so much. I remember the feeling. I remember when I got my own email. I remember when I finally got the email that I was selected for the program. In fact, the ecstasy is just so beautiful, and I want to say a big congratulations. The Mandela Washington Fellowship Program, it's an insightful program. In fact, words are not enough to describe the impact, to describe the benefits of the program, making it so far. And I'm saying congratulations to you because of two reasons. One, for making it to the semi-finals, and also for the impact you are doing in your community. So thank you so much for the impact you're doing in your community. Congratulations for whatever you're doing. And to be selected for this semi-finals, it means that all you've written in your essay is wonderful. What you've written is wonderful. You're doing an amazing job in your community. So big congratulations. You know, the Bible said many are called but few are chosen. But in this case, it's actually many are called but very few are selected, or very few finally get to make it, because the program is very competitive. And now, before we go on to give you tips on how to scale through the semi-finals, this interview stage, I would like to remind you the essence of the interview, the duration of the interview, and of course not forgetting the setup of the interview. So the interview, it's either an online interview using the Zoom app, or maybe a physical meeting where you get to the embassy in your country or in your city, however they structure the interview is. So the setup is usually when you get to the embassy, if it's a physical interview, you may find like 3 persons for the interviewing you. So the 3 persons may be, in fact, it's not balanced, it's spread between female and female. So you can either have usually 3 persons, but an even number. If it's more than that, it's usually an even number. So you can either have 2 females or 1 guy, or 2 male and 1 female. So however you get it, and they may be American citizens, they may not also be American citizens, but just be sure that they are the American representatives, either top US diplomats or officials working at the consulate, or maybe past alumni of one of their exchange programs. So whatever you have, just be sure that they are US representatives. And if you see someone in your color or someone not in your color, just be relaxed and be friendly with them. Remember, to get selected means that they've recognized the impact of your work, and of course they want to see the face behind the beautiful essays and the wonderful applications. Now, the duration is usually between 10 to 30 minutes depending on how the interview goes. So if it's 10 minutes, it doesn't mean that your essay or your impact was not interesting them. Now, if it lasts for 30 minutes, it doesn't also mean that it was so interesting them that was why it lasted so long. So it doesn't mean anything. Whatever duration you get, it doesn't mean anything. So just keep in tag for that, if it's a physical or if it's an online meeting. And again, the essence of the interview, like I said, is to sieve out the few, like the very few from the few. Like, so it's just to connect the face, give a human face to the beautiful essays. It's just to see the person that wrote the essay. You know, in a time of chat GPT and in our world, people can write essays for someone, so they just want you to defend those your beautiful essays. They just want to see the human face behind those essays. And again, the essence, and I'll need to remind you, for some persons think it's a visa interview. They say most likely for persons that are going to the embassy for their physical interview, they think that they are going for a visa interview. Now, this is not a visa interview. If you finally get selected for the program during the pre-departure orientation, that's when you go for your visa interview. Okay, so this is not a visa interview, but just keep your hopes high. You may actually get to experience the real visa interview. So the essence is to see the human face behind the interview. And one important thing that you need to know is that this is just like a normal interview, professional interview. So you need to know the organization that is hosting the interview. So if probably for some persons that have written several interviews, several essays, you've made several applications, and you may not remember what the Mandela Washington Fellowship is about, this is the time for you to do your research about what the Mandela Washington Fellowship is about. So do your research. I will recap. This is the Mandela Washington Fellowship is an exchange program. It's a leadership training program, fully sponsored by the US Embassy, your US government, and it's a program that is organized for young achieved leaders in the sub-Saharan African countries. And usually about 700, I don't know the number for this time, but usually about 700 young African leaders get to travel to the US. About 25 to 30 persons are being spread in various institutions in the US according to their preferred institute track. So, and they do that. It's a 6 weeks program. So within the 6 weeks, there are academic sessions, there are leadership sessions, there are networking sessions, there are site visitations, and there is, most importantly, I love that one, is the community service programs sessions that you get to join an NGO in the US for a community service. So these are what you do in the 6 weeks duration. And then at the end of the program, there's usually a 4-day summit. Where all the 700, whatever the number is that was selected, to get to meet live in Washington DC, to stay together in the same hotel, attend the same program, the same academic leadership, networking, site visitation programs. And okay, there may not be community service in the DC. So that's what the Mandela Washington program is about. And you get to return, most importantly, you get to return to your country to drive down, step down, or continue your impact you're doing in your community. So if you've not done your research, you need to do your research what the program is about. I'll also mention that one for what PDE is, professional development experience. So I would mention that if I'm giving the tips. And going forward, to run down the tips, I have few tips in mind for you. And for number 1 on the list is that, remember I said they already know you. They just want to connect with you both emotionally and your vibe. They want to see the human face behind the beautiful essays. So just be relaxed and enjoy the interview. Own your interview. It's your interview. You may never get another Mandela Washington interview again. So just own it. Own your interview, and of course, kill the game. Number 1 tip I would like to give you is to go through your essays again. Go through your essays, the figures you used, the impact stories you gave out in your essays. It may change for some of us that have different endeavors of impacts that we do. So the one that was supplied during Mandela Washington Fellowship may not be, was supplied for the Mandela Washington Fellowship application may be different for what was applied for maybe Chevening or other or other applications. So you need to go through your applications to see the impact story you used, the figures you used. Now, another important thing is that if you need to know if you applied for the PDE, that's the professional development experience. If you apply for the PDE, there's more job for you. You need to do more research on the PDE or the organizations in the US that accept PDE, and do your research and find out their objectives, and the one that their objective resonates with your own experience or your own future plans or your own objectives. So do more research on that, so because they may ask you questions around. Of course, the questions comes from around all your submissions. So you need to go through your essays. I remember my own time. I had changed device, so I'd lost the essays. I had to quickly go back. If you go back to the link where you applied, you get back towards the ending of the application, you still re-download or be able to re-download your essays and go through them, go through the figures and go through the impact stories you submitted. So like I said, they've gone through your essays. They know. They just want you to defend those your essays. They want you to show them that this is me. And the tips that I give people is that just tell them, like, the essence of the interview is for you to make their job easy, and tell them that even the essays were limiting you. That's it. They've seen your essays, so just show them that the essays we are limiting you. Own your interview and come prepared. Come back, carry your organizations, carry everything to them. They just want to see it. So they want to see the face behind all those impacts. If you said you've impacted over 3,000 persons, carry those 3,000 persons. By carry them, I don't mean carry them physically. I mean carry the energy of those 3,000 persons you've impacted. Carry the energy of this impact of the stories you've put out in the beautiful essays you've written, and that will be it for you. So tips number 2 is that however the interview is being structured, it could be a physical interview or a Zoom meeting, just arrive early. If the interview is a physical, you maybe need to go to the embassy physically. You may need to travel a day before your interview so you could get familiarized with the city and of course the interview venue. If you have to visit, even though you don't have an appointment for that day, but just visit to get familiarized, know the traffic condition of the city, and arrive early. If it's a physical interview, be sure you get there 2 hours 30 minutes before time, and so you could get to relax and of course be in the good spirit for your interview. Now, if it's a Zoom call, if it's an online, they usually use the Zoom call, the Zoom app. Be sure you have the Zoom app in your phone installed. Your device, either your phone or your laptop, be sure you have the Zoom app installed and updated. I remember my own time, like village people came. If you don't understand what village people is, just ask your Nigerian friends. During my own time, I didn't know that my Zoom app had expired. Man, it was very horrible. I was logging in, I was sweating, it was bouncing, it wasn't connecting. I tried different Wi-Fi networks, if I was able to use another device, and that will bring me to tell you to need to have a backup device. If you are using a phone, you may need to have another backup phone. If you're using maybe a laptop, you need to have a backup laptop. Just have a backup device. And one beautiful thing about the Zoom call, you mustn't use your own phone to call. They have the meeting ID number and possibly the password sent to you. So if you're having such challenges, you may just need to use another person's phone. If you may need to get to a cyber cafe, be sure you have data on your phone. If you need to get the Wi-Fi or MiFi, be sure you have your subscriptions on touch. So it may be challenging at some point. Network can just cut off at any point. Your phone could just go dead. But just remember that they understand the challenges that we face as Africans. They understand the network challenges, they understand the power challenges. So be sure to get back to them. Be sure to communicate to them immediately you experience such challenge, and of course explain to them, and they will be able to connect you back or reschedule another interview for you. So always be sure that you're prepared and that the problem, you've tried to avoid all these problems. And also arrive early, join the meeting. If it's a Zoom call, join the meeting like 15 to 10 minutes before the time they gave you. Reasons are, aside these village people that I mentioned, aside networks having issues, the reason why you need to join early is that you need to be prepared. Like if you're having a physical meeting, just do your setup normally, like use enough time to do your setup, then you relax and take 30 minutes to relax and be in tune. You go through your applications again, you go through your essays again. Just keep your face fresh, keep your brain afresh and your spirit in tune with your applications. And the moment you're logging in, make sure you log in like 10 minutes before time. Make sure you log in on the call. And after you log in on the call, don't move about. It's no longer the time to move about. Just make sure you stay on call, because they could let you end the meeting at any time. So another beautiful reason why you need to log in on time, it could be, aside the network issues, it could be that the person before you did not show up, or maybe they rounded up with the person earlier. And it's beautiful that that you're the one waiting for them, that they are the one waiting for you. So this is why you need to join in on call on time, and you'll be relaxed so you can be able to command the meeting. It's your interview, like I said. Be confident and command the meeting. Another important tips I would like to give you is to answer your questions precisely. You need to answer your questions precisely. It's not the time to start doing storytelling. It's not the time. Just go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. Unless the story you're telling is an emotional story that you want to, it's a strategy of connecting them to the answer. Go straight to the point. And you need to connect to them emotionally. They need to see themselves in you. So you need to connect to them emotionally. However you do that, whatever situation and condition you do that, it may not happen, but when you find that time to connect with them emotionally, please do that. Connect to them emotionally. Answer the questions precisely. Now, there's such a thing as selling points. You know your selling point. You could always revolve your answers around your selling point. If you're talking about GBV, make sure your answers are always revolving around your GBV. Make sure that your answers are always revolving around your impact. So be sure you do that. Own the meeting, answer your questions precisely. And another beautiful thing that I need to tell you is that you need to be very confident. Remember, it's your interview. You need to be very, very confident. You need to own it. If you have to fake your smiles, fake it. If you don't have a smiley face, practice how to smile. Stand in front of a mirror and just be smiling, just be showing teeth. If you're showing teeth, it could be thinking that you're smiling. Just be showing teeth. Like, no, I'm not smiling, but I'm making sure that my grin is up and I'm showing teeth. So if you have to do that, do that. Always smile. Always carry the energy. Use gestures. Use your hand movements. Sit up. Do like this, just whatever you have to do. If you have to hold the squeeze ball like I'm holding, just to show you're prepared. If you have to hold a pen, just hold something. Just be prepared. Like just own your meeting. Be very confident. Like you're the one in charge. Remember, you'll be in the interview like with 3 persons. It's your energy against those 3 persons' energy. So whatever you need to do for your energy to be able to bounce off or balance off those other person's energy, do it. It's your meeting, it's your interview. So own it, be confident, wear your smile, and always say thank you if they ask you a question. It's another strategy of driving your confidence high or reminding you of the answers or bringing your brain into the answers to give. You can always, if they ask you a question, say thank you for the question. While you're saying that thank you, you're taking a deep breath and you're relaxing. Your brain is processing the answer to give or the approach to use to answer the question. Now you may also need to ask them to recap the question if you need to do that. So always be sure, like I said in the previous, answer the question precisely. If the question is not clear to you, ask them so you could be clear with the questions, but be confident. Another important thing I need to mention is that if you're a shy person like me, you may need to remind them at the beginning of the meeting. You may need to find a way to remind them. You can tell them, you can say, I'm usually a shy person, but I'll be sure to give my best for this interview. Now, if you use that, they are human beings. Now, they love the essays. They know that people are shy. They know people are good in essays, but they may not be good in defending those essays. They know. So when you mention that you're a shy person, in fact, they are very friendly. And they would even want you to relax. I remember my own time when I was fidgeting, I was stuttering, I was doing they noticed that they first calmed me down. They now asked me, how are you? They started with congratulations. They did all those things just to calm me down. And before they started, they asked me, are you calm now to start the interview? And I was like, yes. So I think that helped me. And they are human beings. I believe they will do that. So if you're a shy person, you can just tell them, I'm usually a shy person, but I'll give my best. I'll do my best for the interview. So be sure to do that. And God will help us, and of course, God will help you. And like another important tip that I will need to share for you is that you need to carry a sample. Carry your evidence. Whether a physical interview or an online interview, carry your evidence. Make you know a plain tire. Don't mind my pigeon. Just carry your evidence so you will not explain too much. Your evidence should be verifiable and directly connected to your impact. It should be verifiable. Your evidence may not be tangible. Your evidence may be an app. It may be just anything. And for some of you in the business track, okay, let me say this again. When you're going through your essays, you know to go through your essays and remember the track you applied. There's the business track, there's the public management track, and there's the civic engagement track. So the questions will always revolve around your essay and the track you selected. So just for some persons in the business track, maybe you have a product, a physical product. Maybe you made a bag like a handbag with a reusable material. You made a footwear with a reusable material, or whatever. Just carry it. Like this may be like, I have a friend, this is my Care Body like product. This is a product. So you may just carry it like that and say, this is a squeeze ball, like my care body is just to care for my mental health, and this is what we'll sell to our clients, our participants, our beneficiaries, and they use it to maybe to boost their confidence, and or just carry something and be sure to use it to sell yourself. Carry your evidence, carry whether a physical interview or an online interview. So just carry that, and at some point bring it out and show them. Find a way and do that smoothly. And another important thing is that you may or may not be allowed to use presentation slides. So if you're going for a physical interview, or depending on how they structure the interview, they may ask you to get a slide presentation. Now, if they didn't give you the opportunity and you feel that you will be confident in those presentations, like, ask them. If it's a physical interview, an online interview, ask them, okay, please, can I, maybe they ask you a question and you want to answer that question with a slide. Be snappy. Remember, you're not the only person that are interviewing. So not when they give you the opportunity to use the slide, that's when you start looking for the slide. That's when you start opening several folders to get to the slide. Now, if you prepared a slide, you could use beautiful photos. You could use photos, don't use videos. Use beautiful photos of your impact stories in your community, of your business place, your business processes, the innovation you're driving, your team, how many your beneficiaries, the smiles on their faces. If you're using beautiful photos on your presentations, and make it colorful and smart and easy to read. So just ask them, can I answer this question with these slides, and it will not take up to 2 minutes. Just tell them that. They will give you a go-ahead order, and then you quickly share your screen if you are using the Zoom app, or if it's a physical meeting, you bring your laptop that is already ready and all. So you can go with a notepad, you can go with a pen, but just have your evidence. And if you are allowed to share your slides, you share your slides. And it mustn't be tangible. Like I said, it mustn't be tangible. It mustn't be a physical product. It can be a software, it could be a newspaper publication, it could be anything. So just enjoy your moments, and of course. But so the next important tip I would like to give you, and it's very important, is to ask questions. One of my friends I love to follow, Owonikoko Shola, is also an alumni of this fellowship. He loves there's this thing he said about asking questions. The world have a lot of persons answering questions, but they have few persons asking questions. So it's important you ask questions. When you ask questions, it means that you have something to contribute. But when you answer questions, it doesn't mean that you have something to contribute. When it's known that you have something to contribute is when you ask questions. So the world is looking for people that will ask questions. So it's important you ask questions. If they don't ask you directly, do you have any questions to ask us? If they don't ask you that one, ask them, okay, can I ask you a question? Remember, so it's important you ask question. And part of the questions you ask, aside from asking them questions if they should recap the question they asked you, or if you needed to get clear with the question they asked you, apart from that one, towards the ending of the interview, if they don't ask you to ask them questions, and ask them questions around, it could be any question. It could be directed to one person in the interview, one person at the interview table, or it could be an open question for them. But I would advise an open question so that the person will not take it personal with you. So just ask an open question. One of the beautiful questions you would ask is, ask them what are the challenges they've experienced managing and planning or executing the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. It's a beautiful question. Now, if you ask them those questions, you are in for it. So it's a beautiful question. So remember to ask them questions, and always be thankful. At every point, like I said before, it could be a strategy for you to get you relaxed. It could be a strategy to put you in mind for you to reflect on your question before answering. But then at the end of the session, should tell them thank you for your time, and you could use the trick to tell them that I'm the person you're looking for. So thank you for for interviewing your number one person for the fellowship, and I hope to see you again when I come for the PDE. It's beautiful. Use that. I did that and it worked for me. So you might want to do that, but please be grateful and thank them for their time for interviewing you. Always thank them if they ask you questions. It could be a trick too. It could be a way of getting relaxed too. So always ask questions and always be thankful. Another important trick is not necessarily trick or tips, is to what to wear. A lot of persons wonder what to wear, but this is an interview, it's a professional interview, so you need to be ready. You need to dress in a corporate attire. Now, depending on whatever country you are, or depending on whatever conditions you may experience, but just wear something that is very comfortable, but let it be a corporate wear. you could decide to use their corporate wear is usually the business casual. So you can browse the American business casual. For ladies is a gown, for the male it's usually a shirt and a tie and a suit, but it mustn't be that too serious. A shirt and a tie and good it's good to go. You can wear your traditional attire, like not your native doctor wear, or not, it shouldn't be too serious, but it should be something that could pass a corporate wear in your country. Now remember, the interviewers are persons really living in your country, so they understand the corporate dressing in your country. So it shouldn't be too serious, it shouldn't be too serious, but it should be corporate, it should be very professional. So the professional business attire is perfect to, you could wear your tie. There's a friend said something that you could always play emotional by twerking with the colors of the American flag. They have two primary colors, the blue and the red. So you could twerk, you could have a red patch, you could have a red tie, or if you can get the American tie, you could wear that. Whatever you do, but don't dress all red. We've crossed Christmas, you're not Father Christmas, so that Toro Toro will not chase you. Also, you need to be very professional, don't do too much, don't be so much. And what to wear, be professional. Then don't forget your smile, don't forget your confidence. They want to see the organization in you, they want to see the community in you, they want to see your business in you. You may not carry your business physically to them, but they want you to carry the energy, the vibe of your business. So wear confidence, wear your smile, wear what you'll be comfortable with, wear your corporate attire, and believe me, you're good to go. You're good to go. And another last tip I would love to give you is, this is not the time to show that you know English so much. It's not the time to be speaking phonetics. It's not the time to use an accent that is not originally, like you're not real with, it's not your own accent. It's not a time to fake accents. They don't want to speak, in it. They don't want it. Just speak in your natural accent. If they don't expect you to have the American accent, they even love your local accents. They want to hear you in your real self. They want to see your real self, and you have to be real. So if you are speaking good, clear English, it doesn't need to be accented, or how do they speak their English? It doesn't need to be phonetics. So just be real. You don't need to use phonetics, and that will be it for now. So thank you so much for I believe you've gotten value on this interview, I believe. So you can just, of course, click the subscribe button, like the video, click the notification button so you could see more videos about the interview, about other videos as well. So I believe you've gotten value. So like the video, subscribe, and follow us. Now you may want us to have a personal time with you, a one-on-one, maybe 1 hour call with you to prepare you for your interview. You may just reach out to us by the comment section and send us your essay. We could be able to review your essays and find possible questions they could ask you. Remember, there are no written questions. There are no specific questions they are going to ask you. I should have said this in the beginning. There are no written, there are no past questions. The questions they will ask you would revolve around your essay, around your business track, around your institute track, your preferred track, and probably around your country, around your organization or your stories. But just know it revolves around your essay. The question they will ask you, it could take any time. They could start by asking you to introduce yourself. Now remember, they already know you. They've seen your essays. They've read your essays, so they know you. So those questions may be tricky. They just, like I said, they just want you to be able to defend those things you wrote in your essay. Now the question may be to tell them about your impact. The question could be tell them where you work. The question could be, like they started with asking me, is upon return, like if I get selected for the program, upon my return, where do I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years? That could be the question. The question could also be how you manage to raise resources, or how you manage to pull through the program, the application. It could be anything. So there are no specific questions, but just maybe all these guidelines and tips that you've gotten. So thank you so much for following the Ebenezer Insights. Thank you for following us, and keep track on our videos. And I congratulate you once again. So congratulations on your impact, congratulations on getting selected, and I'll be there this year to welcome you during the PDA. I'll be here this 2024 to welcome you. So just thank you and congratulations. Bye.